10th Standard Algebra, Chapter 4, Financial Planning, Module 4. In this module, we'll study about brokerage in share trading. Brokerage and taxes on share trading. First, let us understand what is brokerage. We directly can't go to the stock market and buy or sell shares. Only the registered members or organization agency of stock market can buy or sell on our behalf. So these members, they are called as the share brokers. For catering the services of buying and selling of shares, they charge some amount which is called brokerage. Brokerage is paid on the market value of the price. So this is a very important point to remember, and that is brokerage is paid on the market value of the price. Let us note a few points. At the time of buying the share, buying price of one share will be market value plus the brokerage. And at the time of selling shares, selling price per share will be equal to market value minus the brokerage. So the difference is while you buy the share, the brokerage is added to the market value, and when you are selling the share, the brokerage is subtracted from the market value. Let us solve the sums. Practice set 4.4, question 1. Market value of a share is rupees 200. If the brokerage rate is 0.3%, we have to find the purchase value of the share. So by purchase value, we mean the value or the price of the share, including the brokerage. Let us start with the solution. Market value of the share is rupees 200 and brokerage is 0.3% of rupees 200. As we know, brokerage is collected on the market price. That is why we find out 0.3% of rupees 200, and that is 0.3 upon 100 into 200, and that is 0.6 rupees. So 0.6 rupees is a brokerage charged per share. So purchase value of the share will be market value of the share plus brokerage. So market value is 200, brokerage is 0.6. So the total purchase value of the share will be rupees 200.6. Thus the purchase value of the share is rupees 200.6. This is the second sum of practice set 4.4. Question 2. A share is sold for the market value of rupees 1000. Brokerage is paid at the rate of 0.1%. What is the amount received after the sale? So we have to find out the amount received after selling the share. Market value of the share is rupees 1000. Brokerage will be 0.1% of rupees 1000. So that will be 0.1 upon 100 into 1000, and that will be rupees 1. So rupees 1 is a brokerage per share. So selling price of the share. So if you see this, the selling price of the share will be market value minus the brokerage. So in the question as it is asked, we have to find the amount received after sale. And we know by selling a share, the brokerage is subtracted from the market value. So this will be rupees 1000 minus rupees 1, and that is 999. So the selling price of the share is rupees 999. Hence we can say that the amount received after the sale is rupees 999. Next, let us see what is GST on brokerage service. Share brokers provide services for purchase and sale of shares for their clients. These services are charged under GST. So, and the rate of GST here is 18% on the brokerage. So, depending on what the brokerage is, the GST charged is 18% of your brokerage. So, you can find the SSC for brokerage services. If you see, for example, suppose a person has paid rupees 15,075 rupees for buying 100 shares. In that, rupees 75 is a brokerage. So the buyer has to pay 18% GST on rupees 75. Okay. So if you see 75 rupees is brokerage, so GST will be 18% of 75. So that is the additional or money that has to be paid or tax that has to be paid. So let us find the amount of GST he paid to the broker and prepare the contract note. So GST is 18% of 75. So 18 upon 100 into 75, and that is 13.50 rupees. So 13.50 is the GST that has to be paid, including the brokerage. Practice set 4.4. This is the fourth question. Srimati Desai sold shares of face value rupees 100 when the market value was rupees 50, and she received rupees 4,988.20 rupees. She paid brokerage 0.2% and GST on brokerage 18%. We have to find how many shares did she sell. So let us see. Total amount received was rupees 4,988.20. Market value of each share is rupees 50. Brokerage per share it is mentioned in the question, it is 0.2% of rupees 50, as 50 is the market value. So 0.2 upon 100 into 50 will be rupees 0.1. So 0.1 is the brokerage charged per share. So GST per share on the brokerage will be 18% of 0.1, because 0.1 is a brokerage and GST is calculated on the brokerage. So 18% of 0.1 will be 18 upon 100 into 0.1, and that is rupees 0.018. So this will be the GST charged on the brokerage. So selling price of each share. So we know when the share is sold, the brokerage is subtracted from the market value. So the selling price will be 50 minus 0.1, that is 0.018. So selling price of each share will be market value minus brokerage minus GST. So market value is 50, 50 minus brokerage, that is 0.1, and minus the GST, that is 0.018, that will be rupees 49.882. So this will be the selling price of each share. So number of shares to find out, we need to find the total amount received divided by the selling price of each share into 100. So the total amount received is rupees 4,988.20 rupees. Mentioned in the question, selling price of each share we just found out, that is rupees 49.882 rupees. If you divide them and multiply it by 100, we get 100. So number of shares sold is 100. Thus, the number of shares sold by Srimati Desai are 100. Now let us do few sums on the problem set. This is problem set 4. Write the correct alternatives for each of the following. So the first one is rate of GST on essential commodities is, so we know on essential commodities we studied the slab, the rate of GST on essential commodities was 5%. The tax levied by the central government for trading within the state is called as, we know it is CGST. So central government tax is called as a central goods and service tax. The GST system was introduced in our country from, we know, we studied this as well, 1st of July 2017. The rate of GST on stainless steel utensils is 18%. And the rate of state GST, or the rate of SGST, as we know, it will be half of 18, and that is 9%. In the format of GST-IN, there are dash alphanumeric numbers. So we know this as well. We studied this there are 15 digits, or there are 15 alpha numerals. This is question 4 of your problem set that says a trader from Surat, Gujarat sold cotton clothes to a trader in Rajkot, Gujarat. The taxable value of cotton clothes is rupees 2.5 lakhs. What is the amount of GST at 5% paid by the trader in Rajkot? So let us start with the solution. The taxable value of cotton clothes was rupees 2.5 lakh, or we can say 2,50,000. The rate of GST was 5%. Amount of GST paid by the trader, it will be 5% of the taxable value. That is 5 upon 100 into 2,50,000. That gives you 12,500. Thus, the amount of GST paid by the trader is rupees 12,500. Question 4. Find the amount received when 300 shares of face value rupees 100 were sold at a discount of rupees 30. So here let us solve. Market value of each share will be equal to face value of each share minus discount. So that is rupees 100 minus rupees 30, which is 70 rupees. So 70 is the market value of each share. Number of shares sold will be 300 as it is mentioned in the question. So amount received on selling of the shares will be market value of each share into number of shares sold. That will be 70 into 300, which is rupees 21,000. Thus the amount received on selling the shares is rupees 21,000. Question number 5. Find the number of shares received when rupees 60,000 was invested in the shares of face value rupees 100 and market value of rupees 120. Answer. Sum invested as it is given in the question, it is rupees 60,000. Market value of each share is rupees 120. Number of shares received will be sum invested divided by market value of each share. Sum invested is 60,000, market value of each share is 120. 60,000 divided by 120 will be 500. Thus, the number of shares received is 500. Bashir Khan purchased 100 shares of market value rupees 40. Brokerage paid at the rate of 0.5% and rate of GST on brokerage is 18%. Find the total amount he paid for the share purchase. Value of 100 shares will be 40 into 100, as 100 shares are purchased and 40 is the market value of each share. So the total amount invested will be rupees 4,000. Brokerage per share is 0.5%, so 0.5 upon 100 into market value, that is rupees 40. So if we calculate this, we'll get rupees 0.20. Cost of one share will be market value plus the brokerage. So we know since the share is purchased, brokerage is added to the market value. So that will be 40 plus 0.20, and that will be rupees 40.20. So cost of 100 such shares will be market value, that is the cost of one share into 100. So cost of one share is 40.20 into 100. So here you get rupees 4,020 rupees. Brokerage on 100 shares will be 0.20 into 100, and that is rupees 20. GST is nothing but 18% on the brokerage, so that is 18 upon 100 into 20. that will give you rupees 3.63. So GST is rupees 3.63 rupees. Hence, Bashir Khan paid rupees 4020 plus the GST, that is 3.60, and in total 4023.60 for 100 shares. Sum number 4. Pankaj Rao invested rupees 1,25,295 in shares of face value rupees 10. When market value is rupees 125, rate of brokerage is 0.2% and GST is 18%. Then find how many shares were purchased. Solution. Sum invested as mentioned in the question is rupees 1,25,250. Brokerage is 0.2% and GST rate is 18%. Brokerage per share is 125 into 0.2 upon 100, as 125 is the market price and 0.2 is the rate of brokerage. So brokerage per share will be rupees 0.25. GST per share on brokerage will be 18% of the brokerage. So 18% of 0.25, that will be rupees 0.045. So cost of one share will be market value plus brokerage plus the GST. So market value is rupees 125, brokerage is 0.25 and GST is rupees 0.045. And if we add up all this, the total cost of one share will be rupees 125.295. Therefore, number of shares will be equal to the total amount invested. In this case, it's 1,25,250 divided by the cost of one share, which is rupees 125.295. If we divide this, we get it to be 1,000.